Hey everyone, it's Andrew here from Freestyle Feet, and I'm here with Joe, who's got a bunion, as you can see here. And what I'm going to do today is show you how we would address this and how we can actually resolve this problem. So come in and take a look at what this is happening here at Joe's big toe. So as we can see, there's some deviation here at this great toe, and this has been slowly building up over time. But really importantly, we can correct this angulation and we can straighten these toes up. So all's not lost. What we need to do is get this toe sitting straighter, and I'm going to show you how to do that in 3 really simple steps. So step 1, when things have been like this for a while, we need to unlock things. So step 1 is unlock, and there's lots of different ways of doing this. As a physio, I will work through the joints, the stiff joints in here, and we'll do some massage and we'll loosen off these things that have been tight for some time. But Jo will be able to do this herself using some simple tools. So this little massage ball is ideal for unlocking underneath the foot. So at home, if we get Jo to roll this ball backwards and forwards, you can do this in a sitting position or a standing position, all around underneath here. That'll loosen everything off. It does help free up the joints and mobilize underneath, and it'll loosen off the tight muscles. Often some of the muscles on the inside here haven't been working so well, so they're really tight as well. So getting in those is helpful. So massaging under there, 1 to 2 minutes worth of that is a great place to start with a mobilizing ball. The next thing we use is this little guy, a foot mobilizer. And you'll see the little knobs on there are there for a specific reason. And what we want to use these for is to get in between the metatarsals in here. Because when we get an angulation here, what's hidden is some issues up in here where the bones have moved in a little closer back up here. So we need to get into these very narrow spots between the metatarsals and loosen off the tight tissues in here. So we hold onto this and we get up into here and we loosen them off all the way down through those metatarsals. You might even find in between here, there's some between the second and the third, has also got some tight spots. And then on the underside of the foot, once again, we will try and loosen off any tight areas underneath there. And some of these spots are quite painful. And that's normal, that's okay. You're not doing damage, you're just loosening off things that have been tight for a long period of time. So again, a couple of minutes with that one as well. So that's step 1, that's unlocking everything. Step 2, we need to realign things. So we need to get these toes across here. And again, you can do this in a variety of ways. The most simple thing without equipment is to grab the toe and stretch it across. And we want to hold that for 30 to 60 seconds. I'm not using a lot of force, but I'm just stretching him back across. That's a good place to start. Taking that one step further, because things will quickly bounce back again, you can get night splints, which is a splint that is worn overnight that holds the toe like that overnight. So that's the next best option. An even better option than that is these guys here, the Flamingo feet. And you'll see in a moment what this is going to do. So these are silicone toe spreaders that go in between the toes, and they stay on whilst you're moving. And that's really important, because if we hold the toes in good alignment whilst exercising and moving them around, then that works into part 3, which is strengthening the muscles to keep the toes in good alignment. So you can see what's happening here. Whilst that's not a full correction of that toe, we've reduced the angle immediately. And unlike some other silicone toe spreaders that just sit in this space in here, these separate all the toes, which gets all the muscles in the feet working. And we know that all the muscles in the feet work together to maintain optimal alignment. You can see how much better that forefoot looks already. And so we're reducing the strain on that joint. So ideally, Jo will be wearing these for a couple of hours a day, gradually building that up. And you can wear them in wide shoes or bare feet. And that works really well for aligning, but also strengthening. Right, so speaking of strengthening, that's step 3. So these will go a long way to turning on those muscles, but we also need to make it much, much stronger than just a bare minimum level. So what I'm going to show you now is a simple strengthening exercise that Joe can do at home. And my favorite one is we're going to get you on the floor for this one. So we'll lower the bed down. I'm going to get you to swing your legs around the side for me and have your feet resting flat on the ground. Perfect. Okay, now ideally, the muscle that runs along here called abductor hallucis or abductor hallucis, ideally that muscle is strong enough to maintain that alignment there. So what I'll get Jo to try and do is see if she can move the toe on her own across. And that's actually pretty good. If that was impossible, and for those watching at home, there'll be quite a lot of you that just cannot get that moving. If that's the case, use your own fingers to help it across into good alignment, and then gently push that big toe down into the ground. Good, maintaining contact here. And you can't see this, but I can feel underneath here, and Jo might be able to feel as well, that some of the muscles in here are starting to turn on. And they're the ones that are going to keep that alignment. So when we take the flamingo feet off, things will maintain on their own. So if you relax that foot and we let that go, you see it spring back again. So once again, repeat that 10 times. Take it across, pressing down into it, and we're turning on the muscles here, and that alignment looks really quite nice. So over time, as these muscles start to take over in our 3-step process of unlocking, aligning, and then strengthening, eventually these toes will start to stay in a straighter position. Will it correct all the way to there? We're not sure, but we've had some amazingly good results in a really short space of time, so it's worth having a go. And that's in 3 simple ways, three simple steps to get your bunion working a little better.